All right, diving in today, we're tackling something I think a lot of us low-key struggle with. Social situations. You know, especially when you're not exactly the life of the party.
Oh, tell me about it.
I'm going deep on this one. Finally, I Can Be Comfortably Shy by Norio Tokido. I mean, that title alone.
Oh, yeah. I feel seen already.
Right.
And get this. The author. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Japanese business consultant.
Okay.
Certified public accountant.
Really?
You'd think someone in those fields, like, all about the schmoozing,
right?
All about networking.
You'd think, right?
So already flipping the script.
Tokido's already like, nope.
Yeah.
And he jumps right into it. The thing I think a lot of us, kind of dread a little bit, the small talk. He actually argues it's not just a little awkward, it's like a major obstacle.
Totally.
For us.
And he explains why. If you're someone who craves, deeper connections,
yeah,
small talk feels so superficial, so forced. It's draining.
All performance.
It is.
Instead of just engaging.
It's like, that feeling when you're stuck talking about the weather with someone you barely know, and you're both just
dying.
Yeah.
Please, let's talk about anything else.
Exactly.
Literally anything else.
And Tokido's whole point, you don't have to pretend to be an extrovert to navigate this stuff. We can be comfortable being ourselves.
Even if ourselves means we prefer a good one-on-one to a crowded party?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so how?
Right.
Because, avoiding social situations entirely, not a recipe for, success.
No.
Or even just having a normal life, I think.
No, you gotta go out there.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets really good. Tokido lays out 6 strategies for introverts to not just survive.
Okay.
But thrive.
All right, bring it on.
Okay, are you ready? The first one. Don't seek to please.
Wait, what?
I know.
Don't try to make people like us.
It's a mind shift.
How are we supposed to, how do you make connections if you're not even trying to be likable?
Okay, so here's the nuance.
Okay.
It's not about being rude. It's not about being indifferent. It's about shifting your focus from trying to impress or entertain to creating a relaxed, genuine atmosphere.
Okay.
When you are comfortable being yourself,
yeah,
that authenticity,
yeah,
way more attractive than trying to put on a show.
Okay. I see where he's going with this.
Yeah.
But for someone like me who, overthinks everything.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that make me more self-conscious? Am I being too much of myself?
Think of it this way. When you're trying too hard to please everyone,
yeah,
you end up diluting your own personality. You're so busy trying to fit in, you lose what makes you unique and interesting.
Okay.
People connect with authenticity.
Not with someone who's trying to be everything to everyone.
Right. You can't be everything to everyone.
It's exhausting.
It's, oh my God, so exhausting.
It makes sense. It's like trying to force a friendship.
Oh, 100%.
Yes. The more you push, the more awkward it gets.
Yes.
But letting things unfold naturally.
Yes.
Allows for a more genuine connection to form.
And it takes the pressure off, too.
It does.
Trying to be something you're not.
Yeah.
That's exhausting.
And this ties into, actually, his next strategy. Reframe silence.
Ooh.
Us introverts, we often feel this pressure to fill every awkward pause.
Every single one.
And Tokido's like, hold up those silences.
Yes.
Our secret weapon.
I know, right?
Hold on, silence.
Yes.
My secret weapon. This is the thing that makes me want to crawl under a table.
I know, right? But hear me out.
Okay.
Those pauses, they're opportunities for observation, reflection, and even deeper connection. Instead of dreading them, embrace them.
Embrace the silence.
Yes.
All right.
As moments to gather your thoughts.
Go.
Really listen to what the other person's saying.
Yeah.
And then you can respond in a more thoughtful way.
Okay. I can kind of see that. It's like, when you're watching a movie and there's that suspenseful silence before something big happens.
Yes.
It makes you lean in.
It does.
The attention.
Exactly. And sometimes, those silences, it allows the other person to open up more too.
Oh, interesting.
Because they don't feel that pressure to constantly fill the space with chatter.
Okay.
They might feel more comfortable sharing something a little bit more personal or vulnerable.
Right. You're starting to convince me?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe silence isn't the enemy after all.
It's not. It's your friend.
It's my friend.
Yeah.
Okay, but how do you avoid those awkward stares?
Yeah.
And the feeling that we're just sitting there in this weird, silent standoff.
Well, that's where the next strategy comes in. Find common ground.
Okay.
Instead of relying on those dreaded small talk topics like the weather.
Ugh, the weather, yes.
You know, look for those shared interests or experiences that can spark a more genuine conversation.
So like, hey, that was some crazy traffic we both sat through to get here.
Exactly. You're acknowledging a shared experience.
Right.
And that creates an immediate sense of connection.
Okay.
And from there, you can naturally segue into talking about their commute, their neighborhood, you know, maybe even their dream car. That would make those traffic jams a little more bearable.
Okay, that's actually a good tip. It's way more engaging than like the, how about them insert local sports team here opener?
Oh, I know. Or did you see the game last night?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Which, like, if you didn't, then you're already out of the conversation.
Yeah, I'm done.
But this is like, we're both here.
We're both experiencing this.
We're in this together.
Yeah.
And it shows you're paying attention to your surroundings, to the people you're with.
Okay.
And finding common ground doesn't have to be about like major life experiences.
Right.
It can be as simple as like noticing you both have the same brand of phone or commenting on a piece of art in the room.
It's just about being observant and finding those little threads that connect you to the person you're talking to.
Exactly. It's like a little game of like spot the connection.
I like that little game.
Yeah. And it can be fun.
It takes the pressure off.
It does.
Trying to come up with something brilliant to say.
Right.
And lets the conversation just unfold.
More organically.
All right. I'm liking this approach so far.
Yeah.
It feels a lot less forced and a lot more like authentic. But what about, you know, those times when you do need to take the lead in a conversation?
Okay.
Like, say, in a professional setting.
Yeah.
How do we do that without feeling like we're putting on a performance?
That's where the next strategy comes in. And this one is like one of my favorites.
All right, hit me.
Ask engaging questions.
Ooh, interesting.
This is where you get to turn the focus outward.
Okay.
Which is a huge relief for us introverts.
Okay. So instead of like worrying about what I'm going to say next, I should be focusing on what they're saying.
Yes.
And asking follow-up questions.
Exactly. It shows genuine interest. It helps the other person feel heard, valued. And plus, people love talking about themselves. So you're basically giving them a free pass to shine while you get to sit back and learn something new. And it takes the pressure off of me to be like the witty, charming one. I can just chill. Think open-ended questions that encourage the other person to share their experiences and expertise, like what's the most challenging project you've worked on recently? Or what are you most passionate about in your work?
Ooh, those are good. They invite the other person to like tell a story.
Yes.
Which is way more engaging than just like trading basic facts.
Exactly. And it can spark some like unexpected connections. You might discover like a shared passion or a surprising commonality that you wouldn't have found if you were just sticking to the usual small talk script.
This is making me rethink like my whole approach to networking.
I know.
I always dread those events.
Yeah.
But maybe if I focus on asking these engaging questions and really listening to the answers, it wouldn't feel so draining.
I think you'll be surprised how much more enjoyable it can be when you shift your focus from like self-promotion to genuine curiosity.
Okay.
And speaking of listening, become an active listener.
Wait, isn't listening something we're already good at? I mean, we're not exactly known for dominating conversations.
That's true, but there's a difference between passively hearing what someone is saying and actively listening.
Got it.
Being fully present in the conversation, paying attention not just to the words, but also to the tone, body language, and underlying emotions, you know?
So it's like being a detective.
A little bit, yeah.
But instead of solving crimes, we're trying to understand the person we're talking to.
On a deeper level.
On a deeper level.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's a skill that can really set you apart in any social situation.
Interesting.
When you truly listen, you're showing respect. You're building trust. And you're creating a space for a more meaningful connection.
This is making me realize that I might be selling myself short when it comes to social skills.
Probably.
Maybe I'm not as bad as I think.
Right.
I just need to like shift my approach.
I think that's a common misconception about introverts.
Yeah.
We often have this hidden strength in our ability to listen and connect on a deeper level, but we don't always give ourselves credit for it.
But we're not just like quiet wallflowers.
Yeah.
We're actually skilled listeners who can build strong relationships.
It's true.
Okay, this is a game changer.
It is a game changer.
Yeah.
And it leads us to the final strategy.
All right, lay it on me.
Which is all about reinforcing those connections.
Okay.
Master the art of affirmation.
Affirmation? You mean like giving people compliments? I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that. It feels a little, like, forced.
It's not about showering people with empty praise. It's about acknowledging their feelings, validating their experiences, and encouraging them to share more. It can be as simple as saying things like, "That's impressive.
Right.
I understand." Or, "Tell me more."
Okay. That doesn't sound so bad. Yeah. It's more about just showing that you're paying attention.
Yes.
And that you're genuinely interested in what they have to say.
Exactly.
Not just, like, throwing out random compliments.
No. It's about making the other person feel seen and heard, which is, like, such a powerful way to build rapport, create a sense of trust.
This is all making me feel so much more empowered to navigate social situations.
Yes.
Even as an introvert.
You've got this.
But before we, get too carried away with all these strategies, do we have any, concrete examples?
Oh, yes.
Of how to actually put them into practice? Like, I'm a show me, don't tell me kind of learner.
Tokido's got you covered. He offers tons of practical tips, specific phrases you can use.
Oh, perfect.
In different situations. For instance, he suggests using your business card as a conversation starter by including, a little detail about your hometown, a favorite hobby, even just a quirky fact.
Okay.
Something that gives people an opening to ask you a question.
Oh, that's brilliant. It's like giving people permission to engage with you on a more personal level.
Yeah.
Instead of just exchanging formalities.
Right.
Like, here's a little nugget.
Yeah, here's a little about me.
Yeah. Ask me about it.
Yes.
Okay.
And he also encourages you to observe your surroundings.
Okay.
For potential conversation starters.
Okay.
So let's say you're meeting someone new in their office, right?
Yeah.
You could comment on a piece of art, a book on their shelf, even the view from their window.
Okay.
It shows you're present, engaged, which can make the other person feel more comfortable too.
So it's about being mindful and noticing those little details that can spark a connection.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I like it.
He also recommends doing a little research beforehand. If you know you're going to be meeting with someone, take a few minutes, learn about their industry or interests.
Ooh. That's good.
That way, you can ask informed questions and show that you value their time and expertise.
Preparation is key.
It is. And it can definitely boost your confidence going into a social situation.
100%.
And speaking of questions, he emphasizes the importance of asking those open-ended questions.
Yeah, we talked about those.
Right. Encourage the other person to share their experiences, expertise. Things like, what's the most challenging project you've worked on recently? Or what are you most passionate about in your work?
Those are great examples. They invite the other person to open up, share their story.
Yes.
Which can lead to a much more engaging conversation than just trading, surface-level pleasantry.
Right, exactly.
This is really making me rethink my entire approach to, networking.
And that's exactly what Tokido wants us to do.
Yeah.
He's challenging us to reframe how we view social interaction. Especially as introverts, instead of dreading those networking events or cocktail parties, we can approach them as opportunities to connect with interesting people on a deeper level.
I love that. It's about shifting our focus from trying to be the life of the party to simply being ourselves and engaging in authentic conversations.
And he stresses that this is not about becoming someone you're not. It's about leveraging your strengths. As an introvert, your thoughtfulness, your listening skills, your ability to connect on a deeper level, to create more meaningful interactions.
This is so empowering. It's like he's giving us permission to embrace our introversion.
Yes.
And use it to our advantage in social situations.
I love that.
I'm already feeling more confident just thinking about it.
That's the spirit.
I think that's one of the most valuable takeaways from this book. That realization, introversion isn't something to be ashamed of or try to hide. It's a unique strength that can actually enrich our social interactions.
Absolutely.
And help us build deeper, more meaningful connections.
I think so too.
This has been such an insightful deep dive already. And I'm so excited to explore more of Tokido's strategies and tips. But before we get too deep in the weeds, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned so far.
Okay.
What are some of the key takeaways that have resonated with you the most?
Yeah. It's funny, we often think of social skills as this big, intimidating thing, but Tokido, he breaks it down. These simple, actionable steps. It's not about being a social butterfly.
Right.
It's about being intentional.
Yeah.
Genuine.
I'm starting to see social interaction less as a performance, more as a puzzle.
I like that.
How can I use my natural strengths to create a connection that feels good for both of us.
And that's a great way to think about it because, when it comes down to it, we all want to feel connected.
Right, yeah.
Even the most extroverted person out there craves that authentic interaction.
Okay, so we've covered the first few strategies. Don't seek to please.
Right.
Reframe silence.
Yes.
And find common ground.
Love it.
Those were already pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah, good stuff.
What else does Tokido have up his sleeve?
Well, he dedicates a whole section to what he calls verbal Aikido.
Verbal Aikido. Okay, is this like using words to defend yourself in a social attack?
It's more about gracefully redirecting the conversation. Think of it as like a conversational martial art.
Okay.
Where you use gentle maneuvers to steer things in a more comfortable direction.
So instead of getting trapped in small talk quicksand,
yes,
I can use verbal Aikido to escape to more solid ground.
Exactly. For example, let's say someone hits you with the classic, "What do you do?" question, and you're not exactly thrilled to launch into a detailed explanation of your work.
Look, yeah, that one. It always feels like a trap.
Tokido suggests responding with something like, "I work in your field, but what's really interesting me right now is mention a current project or interest. What about you? What are you working on these days?"
Ooh, that's sneaky.
It is a little sneaky.
You acknowledge the question, but then you shift the focus.
Yes.
To something you're genuinely excited about, and then you turn it back on them.
Exactly. It keeps the conversation flowing in a way that feels natural and engaging, and it allows you to reveal a bit more of your personality without feeling like you're giving a presentation.
It's like a conversational bait and switch, but in a good way. You're luring them in with a safe topic.
Yeah.
And then surprising them with something more interesting.
Right. And because you've turned the focus back on them, they're likely to reciprocate.
Oh, yeah.
And share something about themselves, which can lead to a more genuine connection.
I love it. It's like a little social magic trick.
Tokido also suggests using phrases like, "That reminds me of," or "speaking of," to seamlessly transition to a related topic that you're more comfortable discussing.
Okay.
So let's say someone's talking about a recent trip they took, and you're not a big traveler.
Ooh, yeah. Travel stories. Dangerous territory for someone with limited wanderlust.
You could say something like, "That reminds me of this amazing documentary I saw about," mention a relevant topic. Have you seen it?
So you're acknowledging their story.
Yeah.
But then subtly steering the conversation towards something you're more knowledgeable about.
A little bit, yeah.
Sneaky. I like
It's gentle.
that.
It's not like, "Oh, I don't want to talk about that." It's like, "This reminds me of this."
Yeah.
And it allows you to share your own passions and interests in a way that feels organic.
Right.
Connected to the conversation, rather than just forcing them on people.
This verbal Aikido thing is like a social superpower. It's giving me so much more confidence to navigate those tricky conversational moments.
It's a good tool to have.
It is.
And remember, it's not about being manipulative or fake. It's about finding ways to be authentically you.
Right.
While still respecting the flow of the conversation and the other person's interests.
Okay.
And remember, even if you only connect with one or two people at an event, that's a win. It's about quality over quantity, remember.
This is making me see networking in a whole new light.
I know, right?
It doesn't have to be this dreaded chore.
No.
It can actually be an enjoyable and enriching experience if you approach it with the right mindset. I just want to give another shout out to Micky from Mickytolife. His channel is a treasure trove of inspiration, and he's a huge Sip&Talk fan.
Absolutely. Make sure to check him out and maybe even share your awesome podcast intro with him once you've created it. We have these strengths that we don't even realize are strengths.
We've been told they're weaknesses.
Exactly, yeah.
And he's like, nope.
He's like, nope, flip the script.
Yeah, he's like, this is good stuff.
It is good stuff.
So as we kind of wrap up our deep dive into this amazing book, what's the one pearl of wisdom you hope listeners will take away?
Okay, so the most important message, I think. Introversion isn't something to be fixed or overcome. It's a valuable part of who we are. And it can actually be a source of strength and connection. That's powerful.
Beautifully said.
I mean, we can be shy and strong at the same time.
We can be comfortably shy.
Comfortably shy, exactly.
So, as we always do,
yes,
I want to leave our listeners with a little something to ponder.
I like it.
What's your provocative thought for today?
Okay, so what if instead of dreading small talk, We saw it as an opportunity to uncover those hidden gems of connection.
Cool.
What if, instead of trying to fill every silence, we embraced those pauses as moments of shared reflection? What if, instead of trying to be the life of the party, we focused on simply being ourselves, authentically and unapologetically?
Wow, those are powerful questions.
I tried.
No, you did good.
Thank you.
They really challenge us to rethink our whole approach to social interaction.
To be comfortably ourselves.
To be comfortably shy, comfortably ourselves. I love that.
Right.
And I believe, by embracing our introversion, approaching social situations with intention and authenticity.
Yes.
We can create a world where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued.
It starts with us.
It does start with us.
Being comfortably ourselves and showing up authentically. And then other people will feel like they can do that too.
Yeah, and just creating that space. And I think that's what it's all about, right?
It's the dream.
It is the dream.
Comfortably shy world domination.
I love it. I love it. And on that note, for anyone looking to expand their horizons, embrace new experiences, maybe step outside that comfort zone a little bit.
Yes.
I highly recommend the YouTube channel Mickytolife. It's full of fun, lighthearted travel vlogs. Might just inspire you to book that trip you've been thinking about.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Adding it to my watch list.
Put it on the watch list. Well, that's a wrap for today's deep dive. Finally, I can be comfortably shy. A huge thank you to our listeners for being here with us, for going on this journey of self-discovery.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Remember, embrace your introversion, connect authentically, and never underestimate the power of a well-placed silence.
Yes. Until next time.
See you next time.